Welcome back. Today is Monday, therefore it is Medicinal Monday. Welcome back to Cultivating with Sandra. Good afternoon, and we have been working on our digestive system. And my background is different. We are switching. We switched our garden room into our apothecary, so 95% of the garden stuff is out, and this is where we're going to be doing our herbs. My brother's working on my table, so we are getting, this is going to be our area that we're going to be working. So thank you for joining us. We have talked about the digestive system. The last today's makes the fourth week. We talked about the digestive fire, how it was important that that our digestive fire is on point, so it could absorb and absorb all the nutrients and break down all the food digestive correctly. Then we talked about the gut lining and the inflammation, how it was important that our gut lining was strong. Remember that our gut lining is only one cell thick, so it's super thin, and it is the only thing that prevents for our digestive foods, solids, um, to prevent it from going into our blood system, our bloodstream. So if that is not healthy and if that is not strong, then that means that we are going to end up with leaky guts. So that was the second one. The third one, which was last week, we talked about digestive bitters and how it was important that we start our meal process or our meals with 15 minutes before that with our digestive bitters. And we talked about a tincture. We actually made two, one with alcohol and one without, with apple cider vinegar, and that would take at least one more week. It will be ideal if it's 4 weeks, but within 2 weeks you could start using it. Make sure that you're shaking it here and there. um, so that is what we have talked about the last three um, Mondays. But today we are going to make a tea that takes care of all three. It takes care of the digestive fire and the bloating. It takes care of the gut lining and inflammation, and it takes care of the bitter part. So this tea, you will also take it either um, preferably before a meal, but it also can be taken after, right after a meal. But it's preferably a meal during the meal. So there's a tea that we gotta make, and it's gonna take a little bit for the dandelion root to simmer. So we are gonna, before we start the whole process, we are gonna take care of that to make sure that we can actually taste our tea before the session is over. So we are going to put a little bit over over a cup of water, so that went in there a little bit more, and then we are going to put a teaspoon of dandelion root. And remember, when you're using a root that is not shredded, like the marshmallow root is pretty shredded, but when you're using a root like ginger, uh, with using a gentian root, any root that is hard, you really want it to simmer a little bit longer, because that takes a little bit long. So we're going to do a teaspoon, and the goal is for it to have it simmer for 10 minutes. Can you start a 10-minute timer? Great. So that should be, let me make sure this is on. Yes, it is on. And then I'll walk you through the recipe in a little bit. I just needed this to be started so we can actually finish the tea before the session is over. But I need to read my disclaimer. And it is, this class is for educational purposes only. It is not intended to diagnose, to treat, to cure, or to prevent any disease. Always consult with a qualified healthcare provider professional before using herbs medicinally. Remember, some of the herbs can interact with your medications, or if you're allergic to a part of the plant or the yeast family, you want to avoid those. So before we make our tea, I started this part, but before, I want to connect everything that we have learned this month. And we just didn't learn about herbs. We learned about the types of herb it was and how it support. So the teacher in me wants to have a review session. So right here we have um, the 5 different types of herbs that we talked about. And right here we see that we talked about bitters, which is this container right here. And the bitters stimulates digestion through bitter taste receptors. And it activates the saliva, the stomach acid, the bowel production, and the digestive enzyme. We also talked about warming and stimulating herbs, and those herbs increase circulation and activates the digestive fire. And that one activates the circulation in your digestive system, the digestive heat, and the enzyme activities. Then we talked about, oh, I always struggle with this word, carminatives. The carminatives move the gas through the digestive tract and reduces bloating. And that one activates the intestinal movement, the gas release, and the digestive flow. We talked about the Molson herbs, and those produce a soothing gel-like that coats and protects your gut lining. So it protects tissue, or activates the tissue hydration, protective lining, and healing response. And then we talked about a herb that is a nervine that calms the nervous system to support healthy digestion, and it relaxes. It activates the relaxation response, the gut brain connection, and the stress regulation. So these are the 10, I think it's 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are the 10 herbs that we talked about. So what I want to know, we want to go through, is to make sure that we know where each one falls. Okay? So we have, let's take the first one, burdock root. And where do you think burdock root fall? Is it in the bitters, the warming herb, the carminatives, the emulsant, or the nervine? So burdock root, remember that was a root that is actually we used this root during one of our sessions. Do anybody remember where it goes? Anybody? Okay, this one goes under the bitters. Remember, it was one of our bitter ones. Roots that tend to be some bitters. Then we have cayenne, the cayenne pepper, and that one goes with, you guessed it, warming and stimulating. So those are the herbs that start your digestion going. Dandelion root. So dandelion root is another root, and that one will fall similar to the other root in the bitters. Okay. And then we have ginger. Ginger falls just like the cayenne pepper in the warming and emulsant. Warming and stimulating. Fennel Remember, this one was the one that we used in case we had gas. That one will go under carminatives. Marshmallow root. There goes another root. That marshmallow root, remember we used it, this one was to coat our stomach, our gut lining. So that one goes over here. Maybe I need to put it towards the end. Slippery elm. We use slippery elm at the same time as we did marshmallow. So you know that one goes into the demulcent. And then we have chamomile. Remember we talked about chamomile being soothing, but it falls under the nervine because it calms things down. The tension, it calms it, it relaxes, and it regulates stress, either personal stress, stomach stress, health stress. The orange peel, that one is a little bitter, right? So that one goes under the bitters. And peppermint. Where does peppermint fall? Yes, peppermint falls under here, on the carminatives, because it helps with the intestinal movement and the digestion flow. So these are the 10 herbs that we talked about during the oh my goodness, I went back during the month of March with the digestion health. And this is what I want you to always know, focus on, is to what is the herb? What is the property of the herb? Why do we use the herb? Instead of learning just, oh, I need to find a recipe or anything like that, we are looking about what is it that our body needs? What is it that is the issue? And then we choose our herbs, because one of these can be your primary herbs and the other two can be your supporting herbs. And obviously we need to have some kind of taste. So probably an orange peel and a chamomile will be what smooth the taste or the bitterness of some of these. So instead of thinking about the herbs individually, we now understand what activates, what moves, what soothes, and what calms. Okay? And so now we are going to go into our herbs. So we are going to move, into our tea. So we are going to move some of these things. Maybe I could just put it in a corner so it won't be, oh, well, maybe this corner over here. So we could continue with the rest of the lesson. Okay, so as long as we know, we want always remember where our herbs fall. That way we know what it is that we need and we match it with what we need. Okay? So now we are going to do a digestive reset tea. This is how we're going to bring everything together. And this tea has dandelion root, as we know, and the dandelion root was a bitter to get our digestive system going. You want to check this one? And then we had the fennel seeds. And remember, the fennel seeds was supposed to take care of the gas and the bloating. The orange peel is a bitter, but it's aromatic too, so it helps with the taste. The marshmallow root was for your gut lining. So this one is like makes this gel-like substance, and it coats your gut lining. And then the chamomile is to help us with calming our system down and relaxing and the nervous system. So my 10 minutes are up in this tea. So we are going to turn it off. So to make this tea, we are going to do half of everything else. So what we can do is we can pour the tea, the hot water into our cup. Or we can actually pour it here, but I prefer to put it in a cup. I hope I don't make a mess. Here we go. So we have it here. Maybe you can see it. And then that way, I get this out of the way so I don't get burned. Okay, I feel better with it down there. Okay, so now we got our tea and we're gonna add a half a teaspoon of all of them. Half a teaspoon of orange peel. And remember, orange peel is a bitter, but it's also aromatic. My favorite herb is, one of my favorite herbs is chamomile. And then we're going to do a half a teaspoon of that. Chamomile calms the nerves and the system. Here we go. Fennel seeds. You know what? I didn't bring anything to crush this a little bit, so we'll do a little crushing here. Because remember, we want to crush them to start releasing. And I'm going to crush it with this. They're flying everywhere. Okay. Look, I even got one here. You're going in. So we're going to put the fennel seeds in there. I told you that this freshens your breath, and it does. But y'all, you have to like licorice to really like enjoy that taste. I didn't enjoy it, but I did it. And it did freshen your breath. So we got the fennel for the gas. We already did the dandelion root. That's what we did first. And now we do our marshmallow root. And we're going to add, and this one is for our gut lining. So, there we go. So we have added all of these herbs. And now we are going to let it steep for 5 to 10 minutes. So we have it right here waiting for us. So when it comes to the herbs, okay, we did it done. Okay. So we added all of this, and then we're going to cover and let it steep for a few minutes. So, and then we'll strain it, and then we'll drink it, and we'll taste it here. Remember that these work well together, but let's say that you do not have all the issues. Let's say that your gut lining is fine. Then you can just skip the marshmallow root. Let's say that you do not have gas, then you can skip this one. Making a tea, the point that I'm trying to get is making a tea is up to you about what your body needs. Think of the number one thing that your body needs. Okay, your body doesn't activate, is slow in digesting its food. So then you want to make sure that you have some type of bitters. So you have the dandelion and you have the orange peel. And if that's all you want to do, then that is fine too. There's not the one perfect recipe for any tea. You just have to make sure that you know what your body can take and not take. If you're allergic to the dandelion root, then we're just gonna have to skip this one. And then where's the one with the dandelion root? Here. So then you decide, maybe my body can take burdock root, and then you just take burdock root. Okay, or these are not the only 10 herbs that you could use for your digestion. There's plenty more, but these are the 10 that are easily available to everyone in an herb store. I did start putting 1 ounce herbs in my website. I think the ones that I have, I think the 21 that I have there, there's no pictures yet. Pictures are coming soon. But and actually, I will show you because I'm prepping for the market this Saturday, and I have some of them already here. So you choose. You choose. If they say that these 3 do not work as a good bitter for you, then find another bitter. Google it. Get you there's herbal the herbal synergies, and I'm not getting paid by any of this, so this is what I use. This is some of the books that I use. There's the herbal medicine, there's the herbal medicine maker's handbook, there's the forgotten home apothecary, there's herbal medicine. This one is a really old one. The last book of herbal remedies, and as I'm enjoying this the beekeeper's apothecary. Kelly's really she explained things a lot nicely. So any of those books, any books that will help you, or you can Google it. Now just be careful with everything that you Google, because everything that you Google may not be the right thing. So make sure that you back it up with research, with book, or you're doing your own research. So those are the things. Is fennel seed is not, you don't like fennel seeds, then you can use peppermint. Most people like peppermint. So you can do peppermint on that. So it is my purpose or my rationale with showing you these herbs is and to make sure that you know where they fall, is to make sure that you are aware that you can interchange any herbs that you want. Okay, so this tea right here will activate digestion, reduce discomfort, and support the gut lining and calm the system. So that is what we did today. And in a little bit, I'm gonna taste it. Okay, we think got like 5 more minutes, right? Okay, so I want you to think is, what is it that my body need? Not what herb did I learn about. What is it that my body needs? My body needs fire digestion fire. My body need doctor says that I may be developing a leaky gut. My doctor says that I may be doing this or I may be doing that, or this runs in my family when it comes to digestion. You check it out what it is, and then you decide what herb you want to use. So what does the body need is then how you choose what works better. So I hope that this month with digestive health, you were able to learn something new. You were able to learn something that is beneficial to you, that can help you and your family. And just check it out. See what is best for you, and then um, go from there. Now, if you want to learn more remedies, approximately 12 more remedies, with some of these herbs and other herbs, you can join our school, SKOOL community, and we'll start April 9th. And we will start making different recipes. We're going to be making pastille. We're going to be making more tinctures. We're going to be making all these things all for and teas, all for the digestive system. And so it gives you other options. That one is a paid subscription. You can still join us for the lower price one. It just does not include the herbs. Um, but if you do not want to source your own herbs, then you can go ahead and do the higher, the VIP subscription, and that one will automatically, I will be shipping your herbs, every herb that you're gonna need. And then in those I will add something extra to make some of the tools that you're gonna be needing. So that will start at the school community April 9th. So we'll continue our digestive system in that other platform. But in this platform, we are going next month. We are going to start on our nervous system, how to keep our nervous system calm down, calm our anxiety and our stress and our racing minds. We will work on those. And then we'll have different herbs that we'll talk about. Some of these herbs, like you notice that chamomile is a nervine. So chamomile will come back up for sure, and some of these other herbs will come back. So we will be adding to our bucket so we can know what goes where, so we could always have that knowledge in the back of our mind. So stay tuned. Let's see how this tea tastes. What we can do is we can strain it. Here we go. Don't make a mess, Sandra. Let me move my paper away. And when you strain it, don't forget to get all of it. It has some, especially chamomile. It holds some extra fluids. You're gonna see how bitter or how this tea is going to taste. So here we go. And remember, I don't add sugar or honey to my tea, but it always could make a tea better. I just cut down on my sugar. Oh yeah, that dandelion root, it is. Yeah, but it's not bad like I used to make. And the fennel seed stays better in the tea than when you chewing it. So this is the remedy for today, and it is one to take care of all the ailments that we discussed. So if you want to, if you really enjoyed this series, make sure that you share, like, or comment. Um, so others can actually have access. If you really enjoyed this series and you do not want to go back and write all the recipes down that I shared with you through I think it was a total of seven recipes. Today was one, and then two every the other 3 weeks. You can go to our website, cultivatingwithsandra.com, and we have it all in an ebook for you. So you could have it all, you could print it out and you could have it dandy. And we priced it very economical, so it could reach a lot of people. And it is only $3. And it has a summary of everything we have gone through this last 4 weeks. And all 7 recipes there, and it tells you exactly step by step in case you need it. So don't forget, always remember that to let your kitchen become your apothecary, one remedy at a time. That concludes our session. But for those of you that want to know what's going to be on the Baytown market, Baytown Trade Days, I believe it's called, let's come and look across. So right here, we have the 21 herbs that will be available. This on is available. They are available on our website, and each ounce is $5, with the exception of our skull cap. That one is 7. But even though they're all different size bags, y'all, they all add up to 1 ounce. Also, in we'll have our blood support tea, that our detox tea. We'll continue having our cold and flu tea, the sweet dreams tea, the allergy tea, and then the viral defense tea. Anybody with fever blister, this one paired with our lemon balm works. If you get it as soon as you start tingling, within 48 hours, you are fever blister free. We'll continue having our botana oil. We'll have our, we talked about our lemon balm. We have our warming. We will have our warming salve. We'll have our comforting. This one is, okay, so let me go back. This is for viral or moisture or skin. This is good for, like I said, for the fever blister to keep it moist. Also, if you have dry skin or if you have any issues with the skin, this one will be good. Warming is warm support. If you having pain, aches and pain, it's good for, it works well on my RA. It is good for sore muscles. Comfrey herbal salve is good for your complete for the body. But let's say if you have a sprain or a sprain or a your hairline crack bone in your bones, if you broke a bone, whatever, this is very good. This expedites the healing process from the outside in. So you want to make sure that you don't have an open wound, because it's going to heal it from the outside in while your body works from the inside out. We'll do our natural shampoos. Rinses are going to be there. Our hair growth serum. We'll have our fire cider for those of you that want the fire cider. We have the flu bomb with all of the ingredients in it. And if you don't want to deal with that, when we have the flu bomb without the ingredients in it. And then obviously our teas. So thank you for watching. We do appreciate your support and everything you've done for us. The likes, the shares, we really appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.